Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk and today I'm working with the lovely frosted gingerbread paper. Now this there is a stamp set and dies that go with this, but I haven't got those, and so we were working with them at a recent craft retreat, so I thought I would make some projects without much stamping but that really showcase these lovely papers. Now the dies that go with them are beautiful. They do cut out the shapes on the DSP and they add these beautiful icing kind of type layers on the top, but you know, there we go. I haven't got them, so let's make the most of them because the papers are such fun. So as you can see, we've got on the one side you've got these lovely iced kind of gingerbread Christmas cookies, and then some more generic patterns on the back, some lovely say icing patterns on one side, and then stuff. So we've got dots, this lovely sort of scribbled icing, so iced Christmas trees, and again more icing. Wish I could ice like that. Lovely peppermint kind of candies on the back. This super one, which is I like this one because it's a little bit smaller, great for backgrounds. Again, some more icing patterns and tiny little ones on the back. These ones here, which is what I've used on my project, these lovely kind of snowflakes. More icing. Some more cookies here. And so they're great, you know, great fun for Christmas. So I thought I'd have some fun with it. So I came up with this card here. I don't know if someone's done a card like this. They're bound to have done a card like this at some point. Oh, colours. What I didn't say. So real red, cinnamon cider, early espresso and old olive. So a very traditional Christmas palette. So I came up with this little card here. So it's just a variation on a standard card, but I just thought when it opens, you get this lovely sort of snowflake. So you get like a three-dimensional sort of card, and very straightforward to make. I just added some layers of card, some bits of DSP and a bit of fussy cutting, and I've just fussy cut out this and added it to a layer of early espresso. So I thought I'd use one of the other images. You can see I've got the snowflakes here. So I'm just going to fussy cut the bell. And with these I'm just leaving a little tiny border as well, just to kind of give that dimension. You can see I'm just really sort of quickly cutting this out. And obviously on the front there you could then add a Christmas sentiment from one of our lovely Christmas sets. I used one, we're trying to think which one I used at the weekend. I think it was Whimsical Trees. Whimsical Trees. I'm sure it was Whimsical Trees. Yes, it was. So this one has got some lovely sentiments in Whimsical Trees. So that's a really good one to get. The other one that has some lovely sentiments in at the moment, Merriest Moments as well. So there's a couple of really good stamp sets for sentiments. Okay, all over the place. Anyway, so there's my simple, very simply cut out tree. So I'm just going to add that onto a scrap, she says, optimistically, of my early espresso. No, it's a whole sheet. Okay. So I'm just going to cut that down the middle. So I've got a card base for later, and I'll just add that on. So when you're gluing this on, use whatever glue you prefer. I liked the way this looked once you added it onto the early espresso, that sort of dark edge to it. I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow, or maybe not, because that one seems to be a little bit dead. What glue have I got to hand? I've got some fine tip glue. That'll do for the moment. You can tell I haven't done any videos for a while because all my glue is not performing as it should. Okay, what do we got? Stampin' Seal. Dead easy, okay. So just pop that on in the corner there, and then again just cutting that out just to leave a narrow border. As I say, I was tempted by this stamp set once I'd seen it in use, because the layers are so pretty over the top with the kind of fine filigree effect. Just like so. So now we've cut out our decoration front, we want to create our card base. So I've got a piece of card, and I'm using cinnamon cider, that is 29 by 10 centimetres long. And you're going to score that at 14.5 and at 24. And while you've got your trimmer out, you want to turn it to portrait and just mark the edge at 5 centimetres. And you're just going to then cut from that short score line to that midpoint to create our pointed edge to the card, and that's going to be our fold back. Now once you've done that, and you could obviously mark it on the back, but to be honest with you, I want to make sure once I've put my layer on that matches exactly. So we're going to do some layers. So for the front here, we want a piece of contrast card that is 9.5 high by 9 centimetres, she says. Let me just double check that, by 9 centimetres. And then a piece of DSP that goes on top, again 0.5 centimetre smaller, so that is 8.5 wide by 9 centimetres high. So that's going to be our contrast. So this piece here is going to fold back. So you see we're starting to get some layers, and by using the early espresso just gives a nice bit of contrast. So we want to create our diamond fold piece for the front. So I'm going to use some of my same coloured cardstock. So I just want to cut a square now for the front there that is 7 by 7 centimetres. And hopefully that is going to fit, there we go, perfectly onto the front there, like so. So that then makes it blend in with the background. So we want a piece of early espresso to go on that, that's 6.5 by 6.5. So that's our next layer. And then a bit of our basic white. Just grab a scrap, she says, hopefully. Where's my basic white gone? Oh dear, I knew I've got a piece of thick basic white. I don't want thick basic white, I want my ordinary basic white. There we go, found some. And again, I'm just going to trim this down to 6 by 6. Now if you wanted to have narrower layers on that, obviously with millimetres you can go narrower. Just for ease, it makes it quite nice for that just to layer up with 0.5 centimetre increments. What you also want is a piece of DSP to go on the inside and a piece of basic white for the inside. So for our white, again we want it 9 by 9.5, so I'm just going to trim that to 9 centimetres by 9.5. I will put inches onto my blog, so if those of you who work in inches, I have worked it out. It just gets a bit confusing when I'm on videos. A couple of people have commented if you're giving lots of measurements. So then it's to decide what colour. So I think I might go for this slightly brighter one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for this brighter one. And again, so you want another, this is a 7 by 6.5 by 6.5 square, because it's going to layer onto the inside of our card. So that's for the inside. So now let's do some layers. So this is our layer for the inside. So you can just add that on now. Obviously, if you're going to stamp your sentiment, stamp it on before you add your card. Pop that to one side. I'm going to do my layers here. And what I haven't done with this one, because it's folded back, I'm actually not using dimensionals. I'm thinking if I'm posting this card, I'm going to want somebody to it's going to end up going as a larger card otherwise. So when you add the diamond on, just remember you're only adding glue to the one half of it. So once you've done that, you're just going to layer that up like so. And then once that's layered up, I said just come in with your scissors and just come along and trim. And that way you're going to get a nice, perfect line up on the back part. Okay. This piece here, I should have said, cut in half diagonally, so it's going to give you enough for 2 cards. And one of the things I do when I'm cutting a diagonal, I generally start from the middle and cut outwards. That way you don't crumple up your point, which can happen sometimes. So I'm going to add that on. And it just, adds another little level of interest to the inside of your card. I'm going to add my layer to the front there. Just fold the flap out of the way and centre that. And again add DSP. She says, without trying not to get it all over my fingers. I like that with the icing, wouldn't I? Okay. And then the only bit that I am going to pop on dimensionals is this now. So grab some dimensionals and just pop that up on the front. And then to decorate the inside, what I did was on these ones here, you've got these kind of little sweets. So either you could punch those out if you've got a small, I think it's probably a 3/4 inch punch. Let's have a look. Is that a 3/4 inch? Oh no, it might even be smaller still. Might even be is it our old 1/2 inch? It's going to be somewhere in between. So you could use a 1/2 inch punch to punch those out. Any of those actually, that would probably work with the 1/2 inch as well. So it's somewhere in between, it's slightly smaller. Or what I did was I actually fussy cut those out as well, but you don't need to see me doing those. So all you can then do is just add those on the inside of your card, just on the corner. As I say, you can either stamp a sentiment or write a note. There. I've got another one. Actually, and what I often do, I don't waste anything, as you know, so I'm just going to grab that little part one and add that to the bottom edge as well. So there's the inside of our card, ready for our sentiment or for a message. There's the front of our card. So it's just a variation on a fold back card with a little bit of added interest, using our lovely new papers, which are frosted gingerbread. And it's a card that hopefully is easy for people to see how to stand up. Sometimes with fun folds, but you can just stand it up and you get this lovely staggered effect. And it fits in a standard envelope ready to post. Thanks for watching. Do come and see me again soon. And Bye for now. Don't forget to pop along to my shop if you'd like to make any purchases at heidismith.stampinup.net. Bye.